40th anniversary, current artistic director of the Flying Fruit Fly Circus is not Richard Hull.
That's right. It's a good start.
What is your official title?
Chief Executive Officer, John.
CEO, yes. What a great atmosphere! What a great afternoon. Current artistic director is, of course,
Annie Davey. Yeah.
Put together a great show here.
Amazing.
What a week it's been. But you've been talking about fruit flies for 2 weeks, and you've just said to me, "Look, I'm over it."
Yeah, I'm sick of it. Yeah, I've got nothing else to say about the Flying Fruit Fly Circus.
So we
until next year.
Yeah, okay. So we just thought we'd talk about the first time you saw The Who in London and how it changed your life.
Yeah, that's right.
Pete Townsend going nuts.
Yeah.
Richard, when did you and family get to Albury?
We moved here 7 years ago. This is my 8th year at the Fruit Flies, and we moved here, like so many people, for the circus.
How did you source the job, or did the job source you?
They begged me.
Of course.
I got a call from a dear friend of mine called Michelle Wilde.
Yes, I know Michelle, yeah.
Who I knew from my Edinburgh Fringe days. And I think I saw the job advertised, actually, and it said, "Call Michelle Wilde." And I thought, that can't be the Michelle Wilde I know. And I called, and it was. I said, "What are you doing there at the Fruit Flies?" She said, "I've been interim general manager, and we're looking for a new executive director, CEO. Do you want to apply?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to apply." Then I got home, and I said to Beck, "Where's Albury?"
Where were you at this stage?
In Sydney.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, look, maybe we should." Because she hadn't been to Albury for so long, so we flew up. We had a look around the town. We met a few people. I came back for the interview, and they offered me the job, and I was very happy. I'd heard of the Fruit Flies from way back when I was in the UK, because they have this amazing, as you would know, John, this amazing international reputation and reach. And I had always thought of this kid circus in Australia as something very kind of mystical and magical. And so when I got the opportunity to come and be a part of the company, I totally jumped at it. And it's been the best job I've ever had.
Has it been mystical and manageable? Magical?
Well,
not manageable,
certainly. Yeah, no, certainly not manageable. It's been mystical, magical, but very unmanageable. Yeah, look, it has. I mean, it's a very complex organisation, surprisingly complex organisation,
yes.
with lots of stakeholders and...
Yes, and so many layers.
And so many layers. And I think when, we all get together for a 40th anniversary like this, and so many people from the decades come back to celebrate with us, you realise the depth of feeling that people have for the organisation and how it's shaped their lives and what it means to them. And, there's a lot of sense of responsibility that I have and that the team have at the Fruities about how we take care of this company, which, although we're in a really good place, like all arts companies and regional arts companies, youth companies, it's fragile.
Yeah, well, look, they're always vulnerable to market forces, to government decision making, you name it. There's always going to be, and perhaps that's one of the things that actually keeps the fire going is the vulnerability.
Yeah, I think that is part of it. You can never put your feet up. You can never be complacent. And I've used the C word a lot during these last, couple of weeks of celebration, which is community. And I keep coming back to it, and everyone who talks to me keeps coming back to it too, because I think, its longevity is a kind of triumph in itself for a company like this. And there have been conversations around why the Fruit Flies and why, and Hot House actually, when other sort of regional theatre companies have gone by the wayside long ago, and so on and so forth. And I think it started as a community project. It's always been driven by the community, and I think the community continues to keep it going. And that's our local community, that extended fruit fly community that is, extended geographically, but also, time-wise, going back through those decades, and they're all still here and still loving the company and still supporting the company. And I think that's the energy that keeps the organisation going. And as long as we maintain that spirit, we'll be fine.
Yeah, it is, and the spirit. It's to me, it's a national living art treasure, and it should have that status.
Yeah.
It's a national living art treasure. There is no doubt in my mind. And I'm reminded so often. Just to give you an example of that is I drive to work every morning, most of the time listening to Classic FM, and the music of Nigel Westlake is featured very prominently, and rightly so, on Classic FM. I can remember when Nigel and two other, Dal and other chap I can't remember, but Nigel Westlake, came to work with the Fruit Flies in 1984 and write the music that would back the Nanjing Acrobats.
Yep.
And the show
Circus of Tomorrow.
Of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I believe I heard some of it the strains of some of it coming out of the tent, which I thought was a beautiful. Yeah. Just an interval.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I could hear some of those beautiful strains, and it took me so far back. But that's the caliber of people who internationally acclaimed artists who have worked, not only circus performers, musicians, directors, administrators, CEOs who have worked with this company, brought something to it, and then taken it somewhere else.
Yeah, and continue to work for it. Our training director Loic is from France. He was originally a national acrobatic champion in France, and then he got involved in circus and as a professional trainer with companies like Cirque du Soleil all around the world, so on and so forth, and came here, and like so many people, just kind of got hooked. And he's been here 5 years. And Annie Davey, who's now our artistic director, who has a legendary career with Circus Oz and as an independent artist, pushing the boundaries and so on and so forth. Now here as our artistic director. Jodie Ferrugia, who was our AD, prior to Annie. These are all amazing artists who come here and literally fall in love, I think, with the company and with the community. It's a great place to live. And I think one of the things that's really strong about us is that, what's going on in that tent behind us is...
Which is Monty Python.
It's Monty Python at the moment. It's pretty much exactly what was going on in a similar tent on exactly the same site 40 years ago. And so, we're still doing the same thing. We're teaching kids to do circus, and we put on shows, and it's a really simple, genius idea, and we haven't messed with it too much.
No, Bomber said a lovely thing earlier. He said, seeing the show last night, he said, it's... He sat there and he said he wept.
Yeah.
And he said it was so different, but it was so the same.
Yeah. And I think that's right. We have to move on. We have to remain relevant as an organisation. We have to reflect, the world around us in 2019. We're not a museum, but the spirit of it and the essence of what we do is exactly the same. And as long as that kind of through line continues on, I think the company will thrive, because you can't beat it. There's nothing more exhilarating, and there's nothing that puts a smile on your face more than seeing those kids, those ordinary kids, doing extraordinary things.
Couldn't agree with you more. Richard Hull, CEO of the Flying Fruit Fly Circus, thank you so much for being with us today, but also thank you for all the wonderful work that you've done over your years here, and may it continue.
And thank you, John, and thank you,
lovely
mate.
working
I really
with
love you.
It's been great.
It's good that you're here.
Always. Richard, our wonderful producer Johnny Kovacs is a gift giver. He loves sharing things in this world. He's a really, really generous man. So we give each of our interview subjects a look at this. Isn't that lovely? ANZ bag, gift bag.
Yeah.
Hasn't got any banking product in it.
No.
But look, anti-slip bat. These are all things that you would find useful in your job.
Yes. Is this for the shower or something like that? Something.
Well, or it could be from
someone of my age.
You could put you could put it in your office. Nanis for potassium.
Yeah.
Look at this, bandages in case things get out of hand in the tent later on.
Yeah.
And turmeric, which is
I love turmeric. Is there a specific?
Well, you can make tea with it.
Yeah.
It's very good for the blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can. For which? Yes. And if you clean your teeth often enough, they go orange first, but then they become very white.
Do they?
Yes.
I'll try that.
I'm in the mid phase of orange right now. Hey, Richard, it's been great having you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And I like the thought you've put into what you should give a circus CEO. That's beautiful.